Shalom, this is your brother Tazaya Amar of GMS Valdosta, Georgia, coming out with another weekly lesson, and I pray that it be edifying. But first, we want to give all honor and glorification to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rekakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of GMS for teaching us the true knowledge of these scriptures. I want to say shalom and a heart to all the brothers and sisters that's striving and thriving in the same true doctrine. Shalom. Today's lesson is based upon two principles. Well, one principle, two different situations. You have what you call the calm before the storm, and then you have the calm after the storm. And the calm before the storm is pretty much a situation where all of a sudden everything seemed to be, in a tranquil state. The wind ceased. All of a sudden there's a quietness that's deafening. And right after that, all hell break loose. Just complete chaos. And then after it's all over with, there's a calm that comes. And the worst part about the calm after the storm is that the people go back to sleep. There's nothing that they learn in the midst of the storm. They go right back to their wicked ways. Go right back to whatever fornication situation they was in before. Hey, they picks it right back up, not knowing that the calm before the storm and in the midst of the storm was a situation that was trying to get your attention. That at some point in time, there's a storm that's going to come. As I often say, they're going to make these little situations that we're going through now seem like, hey, just a cool breeze in the park. So, with that being said, my first scripture is going to be the book of Matthew, chapter 8, starting at verse 23. And when he was entered into a ship, talking about Yahushua, his disciples followed him. And behold, there arose a great tempest in the sea, a great wind, insomuch that the ship was covered with the waves. Could you imagine that? The waves are so high that it was above the hull of the ship. Man, that had to be a terrifying situation there. But he was asleep. Yahushua was sleeping through the whole thing, just as I did through this hurricane that just recently came through here. Helene, I slept through the whole thing. All praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. And his disciples came to him and awoke him, saying, Lord, save us, we perish. And he said unto them, Why are ye fearful, O ye of little faith? Then he arose and rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a great calm. Imagine that. They were so fearful, even though Yahushua was in the midst of them. That's something we can learn from. And I got some scriptures I'm going to go into that are going to pretty much exemplify that situation. We can learn from that situation. If Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai if we are in the midst of him, we don't have to worry about these storms. And as I was saying earlier, there are going to be some storms that are going to come through here. And the ultimate storm is going to be them ICBM missiles. And oh yeah, they're coming. Matthew chapter 8, starting again at verse 26. And he said unto them, Why are ye fearful, O ye of little faith? Then he arose and rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a great calm. But the men marveled, saying, What manner of man is this, that even the winds and the sea obey him? Had they not known that, hey, Yahweh Shai was in the midst of them? And how many other miracles has he performed before he performed this one that they was an eyewitness to? You know, where would their faith at? Matthew chapter 8, verse 28. And when he was come to the other side into the country of the Gergesenes, there met him two possessed with devils, coming out of the tombs, exceedingly fierce, so that no man might pass by that way. And behold, they cried out, saying, What have we to do with thee, Yahweh Shai, thou Son of the Most High Yahweh? Art thou come hither to torment us before the time? And there was a good way off from them an herd of many swine feeding. So the devil besought him, saying, If thou cast us out, suffer us to go away into the herds of the swine. It's amazing how them demons knew who Yahweh Shai were. You know, just out of the clear blue, But here these disciples that walked with him, talked with him, and supped with him, didn't know who he were. You know, that's when they ask, what manner of man is this? Did you not know who you was in the midst of, or who was in the midst of you? And without rambling any further, I'm going to go to another scripture. And it's going to be Romans chapter 15, starting at verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime was written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scripture might have hope. You know, as I was saying earlier about, you know, Yahweh Shai being in the midst of them while they was on this ship during a raging storm. You know, that's a testimonial to us. If we are in the midst, or he's in the midst of us, hey, no weapon formed against us shall prosper. But at the same time, you know, as I was speaking about the calm after the storm, once the Most High deliver you, you know, hey, he didn't deliver you so you can go right back into your wicked ways. You know, any man putting his hand to the plow and turning back is not fit for the kingdom. You know, that's something to think about within itself. You know, you took this walk with Yahweh Shai, and then you turn back. You talking about devastation. I mean, you subject, well, more or less, you subject to, hey, just cut yourself off from salvation when you do that. You know, hey, I would be weary of that, to turn back. With that, my next scripture is going to be 2 Timothy. 2 Timothy. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 16. And it reads, all scripture is given by inspiration of the Most High, and it is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness. Once again, I reflect back to the fact that, hey, if Yahweh Shai is in the midst of you, or you in the midst of him, hey, put all your fear aside. You know, if you're going to be fearful of anything, hey, be fearful of not receiving the spirit, the spiritual gift that the Most High has for you. That's the only thing I'm fearful of. To fall short in this walk. And with that being said, I'm going to close out by giving all honor and glorification to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rekakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders for teaching us the true knowledge of these scriptures. I want to say shalom and ahar to all the brothers and sisters that's striving and thriving in this same true doctrine. Shalom.